Hey friend, let me ask you something honest. Have you ever studied for hours, read the same page again and again, and still forgotten everything during the exam? You're not alone. Almost everyone has been there. Most of us were told to just read more, focus harder, or study longer. But the brain doesn't care about how long you study. It cares about how smartly you do it. So in this video, you're going to learn how to study less, remember more, and never fear forgetting again. By the end, you'll have a clear roadmap to become one of those people who remember everything with ease and still have time to rest, relax, and live your life. Last, a bonus tip too. 1. Spaced repetition. When you learn something new, your brain creates tiny connections between neurons, like roads between cities. If you don't travel that road again, it fades away. The path disappears. That's why you forget. Reading once or twice is like drawing on sand. The first wave, your daily distractions, will wash it away. But when you review smartly and test yourself often, you carve it into stone. That's where spaced repetition comes in, one of the most powerful methods ever discovered. Imagine this. You study something today. Then you review it tomorrow. Then after 3 days, then after a week, then after a month. Each time your brain says, "Oh, this again?" It must be important, and it strengthens that memory like a muscle. Instead of reading one page 10 times in one day, it's far better to read it 5 times across a few weeks. Apps like Anki or Quizlet are made for this. They remind you exactly when you're about to forget something, so you review just in time to make the memory permanent. That's how medical students, engineers, and language learners remember massive information. And you can do the same, right from your phone. Download Anki from apps.ankiweb.net, install it, create a new deck, add notes with fields like question and answer, then generate cards from templates. Study by reviewing cards daily, rating how well you remember, easy, hard, to let Anki schedule repetitions, sync to AnkiWeb for multi-device use. 2. Chunking. Now let's talk about another secret, chunking. Your brain can only handle so much at a time. It's like a phone with limited RAM. Open too many apps and it slows down. So instead of memorizing 50 random facts, break them into small, meaningful groups, or chunks. For example, don't memorize 149, 217, 7, 617, 89. Group it like 1492, 1776, 1789. Now you see, those are years you already recognize from history. Your brain loves patterns and connections. When you chunk information into ideas, topics, or visuals, it feels lighter, easier, and faster to remember. You can even use sticky notes for this. One color for each topic, one for formulas, one for definitions. Your wall becomes a colorful map of your memory. 3. The illusion of competence. Here's a painful truth. Most students don't study, they just reread. And rereading feels productive, but it's actually an illusion. When you reread something, your brain says, "Oh, I've seen this before," and tricks you into thinking you understand. But when you face the exam, the brain goes blank, because recognition isn't the same as recall. That's why scientists say, don't reread to remember, recall to remember. Close the book, look away, and ask yourself, what did I just read? If you can explain it in your own words, you've learned it. If not, that's your weak spot. Go back, fix it, and move on. This one simple shift, from rereading to recall, can double your retention without extra hours. 4. Use AI. AI can be used as our study assistant, and AI in Notion can also be used for clear-cut note-making. 5. Create your own study guide. There's something powerful about writing by hand. When you write notes, your brain filters the most important ideas. It doesn't just copy, it processes. So instead of reading textbooks 10 times, create your own study guide or mini-book. Draw diagrams, doodle examples, use highlighters. Make it visually beautiful, like your personal memory map. Even better, teach it to someone. When you explain something out loud, you force your brain to organize thoughts clearly. It's called the Feynman technique, and it's one of the most powerful learning tricks in the world. 6. Sleep, food, and exercise. You might not believe this, but your brain studies while you sleep. During deep sleep, your mind replays everything you learned that day, organizing and storing it like files in a computer. That's why all-night study sessions don't work. You're skipping the part where your brain actually memorizes. So, sleep 7 to 8 hours. It's not laziness, it's neuroscience. Also, never underestimate food and movement. Your brain runs on glucose, oxygen, and energy. Eat balanced meals, not just junk or caffeine, and move your body. Even a 20-minute walk boosts memory and focus. A healthy body creates a strong mind. 7. Pomodoro technique. Most people think studying means sitting for 3 to 4 hours non-stop. That's a recipe for burnout. The Pomodoro technique fixes this beautifully. Study for 25 minutes, take a 5-minute break. After 4 rounds, take a longer 20-minute rest. Your brain loves short bursts with breaks. It helps you reset focus and avoid mental fatigue. And here's something interesting. Thomas Edison used a similar trick long before it had a name. When he faced complex problems, he'd take short naps holding a metal ball. As he drifted into light sleep, the diffuse mode, his muscles would relax, the ball would drop, and he'd wake up with new ideas. That's the secret of balancing focused and diffuse thinking. One sharpens your mind, the other unlocks creativity. So remember, breaks aren't distractions, they're brain fuel. 8. Interleaving. Imagine you're learning math and you do 20 problems of the same type. It feels good because it's easy. But real learning happens when you mix geometry, algebra, word problems, all together. That's called interleaving. It forces your brain to constantly adjust, recall, and connect different ideas. That's how you prepare your mind for any question, not just predictable ones. So mix topics, subjects, and question types. Your future self will thank you. 9. Self-motivation and self-esteem. Here's the truth. You can have the best study techniques in the world, but if you don't believe in yourself, they won't work. Stop saying, "I can't." Stop comparing your speed to others. Your journey is unique, and your brain learns in its own rhythm. Motivation doesn't come from watching others win. It comes from small victories. One page, one chapter, one test at a time. So celebrate progress, not perfection. And never let one bad grade decide your worth. Part 2. The daily study routine that actually works. So now that you know how memory really works, spaced repetition, recall, chunking, all that good stuff, let's put it all together into something real. Something you can actually do every day. Because learning all these methods is one thing, but using them consistently is what makes you powerful. 10. Morning routine. The first 30 minutes after you wake up decide your entire day. When you wake up, don't touch your phone immediately. Don't scroll social media or check messages. Those things fill your brain with other people's thoughts before you've even had your own. Instead, do this simple routine. Drink water. Your brain needs hydration to wake up fully. Get sunlight. Even standing near a window helps your brain reset your biological clock. Move a little. Stretch, walk, or do a few push-ups. It sends oxygen straight to your brain. Set your goal for the day. One small goal, not 10. Something like, I'll finish one chapter, or I'll revise yesterday's topic. It's not about doing everything, it's about starting right. 11. The mental setup. Before studying. Before you open a book, take 1 minute and breathe deeply. Tell yourself, I'm going to study with full focus for the next 25 minutes. When you give your brain a clear command, it listens. Focus is like a muscle. It gets stronger with repetition. Now, open your book or notes and start your first Pomodoro round. 25 minutes of focused studying. During this time, keep your phone far away. Turn off notifications. No music with lyrics, just silence or gentle background sound if you like. After 25 minutes, stop. Take a 5-minute break. Walk, drink water, look outside, just breathe. When you come back for the second round, your brain will be sharper. You've entered focused mode, where deep learning happens. 12. Focused mode and diffuse mode. The twin forces of genius. Let's talk about something fascinating that scientists discovered. Your brain works in 2 major modes. Focused mode, when you're studying, solving problems, or deeply concentrating. Diffuse mode, when you're relaxed, daydreaming, or taking a nap. Thomas Edison and Salvador Dali used both modes brilliantly. Edison would think hard about a problem, focused mode, then take a nap holding metal balls. As he drifted off, the balls would drop, Wake him up, and in that relaxed moment, his brain would connect ideas in new ways. That's when insight happens. So when you feel stuck or mentally tired, don't force it. Step away. Take a walk, nap, shower, or listen to music. Your brain will keep working silently, finding solutions in the background. That's how creativity and deep learning grow. 13. The study block formula. Here's a simple routine you can follow every day. Morning block, 2 to 3 hours. Study your most difficult subject first. Your brain is fresh, alert, and has the highest willpower. Afternoon block, 1 to 2 hours. Revise what you learned in the morning using recall or spaced repetition. Use Anki or Quizlet, not just reading, but testing yourself. Evening block, 1 to 2 hours. Do lighter tasks. Watch educational videos, make notes, organize your flashcards, or teach someone. This simple 3-block system gives you 5 to 7 hours of pure quality study time without burnout. And that's more effective than someone who sits for 12 hours but only half focuses. 14. Memorize anything long-term. There are 3 golden rules to long-term memory. Understand before you memorize. If you can't explain it, you don't know it yet. Recall regularly. Use flashcards, mini quizzes, or just close your book and talk to yourself. Space your reviews. First after 1 day, then 3 days, then a week, then a month. This is how your brain transforms short-term memory into permanent knowledge. If you do this for 3 months, you'll never need to cram again. 15. The power of calm. Many students study with anxiety. You sit down, open your book, and your heart races. I need to finish this fast, I'm behind. That pressure actually blocks your brain's ability to learn. Calm minds absorb faster. You don't need to be 100% relaxed, just stop punishing yourself. Say this instead: I don't need to be perfect today. I just need to be consistent. When you lower pressure, your focus naturally increases. Bonus tip: your brain learns best when your identity matches your goal. Most students try to force discipline without changing how they see themselves. But the truth is, your mind follows your self-image. If you say, I'm bad at remembering, your brain quietly obeys. If you say, I'm a learner who figures things out, your brain adjusts itself to make that true. Every night, look into the mirror and say one quiet line: I'm not behind, I'm becoming. This rewires your self-belief faster than any app, planner, or time block ever will. If you're still here, that means one thing: you care about your growth. And that alone makes you unstoppable. Remember, you don't have to be born a genius. You just have to keep learning like one. Your brain is not fixed. Every single day, it grows new connections. And you decide what to feed it. Feed it curiosity, feed it discipline, feed it love for learning. And one day, you'll look back and realize you didn't just memorize books. You rewired your entire life. So the next time you sit down to study, smile a little. Because you're not just preparing for an exam, you're shaping your future self. Don't study for marks. Study to become the kind of person who never stops growing.